What's up? It's Paul from Guitar World, and today we're going to be looking at Mesa Boogie's flagship amplifier, the Mesa Mark V. Now for this review, I will be using a Taylor standard double cutaway solid body with Taylor's proprietary humbucking pickups, and I've strung this guitar with Dunlop nickel wound electric guitar strings 10 to 46 gauge. Mesa Boogie's Mark series of amplifiers have attained legendary status, and the Mark V combines all of these amplifiers into one clean and concise package. Now this Mark V amplifier has a 3-channel design with identical controls on each channel with 3 different modes of voicings for a total of 9 different voicings all together on these 3 channels. So you get everywhere from sparkling clean to crunch to hard rock sounds to even metal. Looking at the front panel of the Mesa Mark V may seem intimidating, but it's very intuitive and easy to operate. So let's begin by looking at channel 1 and see what we can do with that. Beginning with channel 1, what we have here is essentially your clean channel, but with a whole lot of guts. As I said before, we have identical controls found on all the channels, one for presence, bass, master, mid, gain, and treble. We also have an amp voicing switch for channel 1, which is normal or bold. And then you have the heart of your voicings over here, which are the 3 modes found on this particular channel, the clean, fat, and tweed. And you'll get to hear those shortly. We also have a mini toggle for the EQ to work manually, or you can assign it to this channel with a preset EQ, or you can just have the regular sliders as they are set. There's also a power setting switch, and over here you can set it to 90 watts, to 45 watts, or 10 watts. Moving over to channel 2, what we have here is more of your grittier and dirtier sounding channel, which is also where we'll find the first Mark series of amplifier voicings right here. So identical controls once again, your amp voicing switch for the Mark 1 normal, and then the Mark 1 thick. So you get a nice little voicing to add a little more character on this channel. You have your 3 modes of operation, or 3 modes of voicings, one for edge, crunch, and then Mark 1, which is a recreation of their first series of the legendary Mark 1 series of amplifier. You have the EQ mini toggle over here, so you can assign your EQ to this channel, or you can use the sliders, or you work it manually. And then, of course, the same power setting switch. So what's great is you can assign 45 watts to this channel while you're using 10 watts on the clean channel, or you want the full 90 watts on this channel, you can do that too and assign it from the foot switch. Channel 3 has the most gain, and of course what we have is the amp voicing switch for normal or bright. What's interesting here is we have the Mark II C Plus setting, which is based on their Mark II C Plus series of amplifier. Then if you move it in this middle position on the voicing switch, you get the Mark IV voicing. And then finally at the bottom we have the extreme setting. Same EQ, and then of course the same 3 modes of power setting on this channel as well. Now if the 3 channels and the 3 modes of voicings and the 3 power settings are not enough, you have even more versatility once we get to the EQ and the dual master volumes here. This wouldn't be a Mark series of amplifier if it didn't include Mesa Boogie's legendary EQ. The Mark V has this EQ along with 3 mini toggles that allow you to set and assign for each channel whether you just want to set the sliders as they are or assign a preset for each channel on your different EQ settings for that channel that you can kick in and out at any time. In addition, we have 3 separate preset depths where you can even set the amount of depth and resonance that you want of this EQ per channel. Over here, we have your master volume and then a solo volume as well. You have your standby switch, and if you're running the amp at full power, you can switch down to variac power, which drops the wattage and gives you a little more gain and a little more of a spongier feel. Now after showing you the front panel, if that's not enough, even more versatility can be found on the back panel of the Mesa Mark V. For even more flexibility, you have reverb for each channel, so you can set your particular amount of reverb you want per channel. There's also a pentode triode switch on channel 3, which allows you to select the type of silicone rectifier you would like on that particular channel. There's also a channel-assignable FX loop, and if you want to pull the loop out of the circuit, we have a hard bypass. With an impressive amp such as the Mark V, you'll need an impressive foot switch, which comes included, as you can see right here. On the Mark V foot switch, you can see the individual channel selector, the solo selector, a mute switch for silent tuning if you have your tuner plugged in, the EQ in and out, the FX loop, and of course, the reverb.